La 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 la. Kannari na.
Good afternoon, my dear students. Welcome for the online class of 10th standard. Already in the previous class, we have discussed about the money and credit lesson, some important concepts. In that, we have already studied what are the functions of money, evolution of money, what is a bank, and what are its functions, and how the banks are going to provide service for to the customers, as well as the role of RBI and what are the functions of RBI, that already in the previous class we have discussed. So today in the class we are going to study about how the money is going to supply in the public as well as in a bank sectors also. So for day to day activity, how the money is going to be supplied, so that information very detailed today in the class we are going to study. So my dear students, so money means not here we should mention only the currency notes or a coins, even some other additional money which cannot be supplied in our hand, that is also considered as a money. For example, whatever the savings you have kept in a bank and whatever the money you have deposited in the bank for a certain time, so that all is considered as a money itself. Sometime your parents, for your future purpose, they are going to keep the money as a fixed deposit for a long time or short time. The maturity time, what the money you are going to be getting, so that is also considered as a money here. So totally there are four methods in a money supply. So which are that I have written here. One is M1. What is a M1 means? A currency notes and coins plus net demand deposits held in a commercial bank. You have kept the money in a commercial bank. So that net demand of all the customers, what is there in a commercial banks, that will be calculated in the M1. And M2 means a M1 plus saving deposit with the postal office savings. Deposit money is separate, my dear students, and saving deposit is different, because net demand deposit means, I told you, it is a long time you have kept the money without withdrawing for a 5 years or a 10 years along with the currency and coins. It is called M1. In M2 what happens? M1 plus saving deposits. Whatever the salary your parents are going to take, and for your purpose they are going to save some amount in the post offices, that is considered as a saving amount. So that is also added in the money supply. That type of money is called as a M2. Means M1 and M2 always we are going to rotate that money for our requirements. But another two methods are there, M3 and M4, that are considered as a broad money. For example, in M3 what happens? M1 plus net deposit of commercial banks. What the bank has kept the deposit in a RBI, and what you have kept the money in a commercial bank for a time deposits, that is considered as a M3. Means this money will not regulate daily rotation purpose. It is called as M3. But M4 means what? M3 plus total deposit with post office saving banks. Whatever the total deposits you have done plus saving in accounts, how much money you have kept, that all together is considered as a M4. Means M3 and M4 cannot be used for daily rotation base, but it is kept for a future as a money. That is also considered as a money itself, but that money will regulate or it is going to supply for date after, means the term after it will supply, but M1 and M2 is a narrow money, always it is going to take the moment between government, banks and the public, that you have to keep in the mind. Apart from this money supply, the bank engage in credit creations. For example, how the banks are going to create the credit creations means, so in some banks an entrance gate or inside the cashier near, they are going to put one statement or they are going to make one small banner advertisements, in that they are going to offer for the public, if you have kept 1000 rupee for a long term deposit, the rate of interest will be provided by 5.4 per annum, 6 per annum, for senior citizens it is 7%. These kind the banks are going to engage in the credit creations. It is also called as available of money in economical purposes. This money supply and the available supply of a goods and services affect the demand for them and thereafter their prices. Suppose if all the people kept the money without saving accounts in a net time deposit, what happens? The rate of the price is going to increases. Then it becomes very difficult for the people to engage their life or to manage their day-to-day rotation of a required money. So mild increase in a price, it is like a tonic, but if suddenly if it is going to increase when all the money kept in a net deposits, then you cannot buy the goods, because after 5 years the money will come, then until the 5 years what happens, the rate will become high. Suppose if you kept the money in a saving banks, what happen? So rapidly, so day to day requirement purpose, you are going to purchase the product or a goods. Then what happens? Individually the purchasing power is going to increase if you kept the money in a saving banks. Suppose if you kept in a net deposits, then what happens? The rate of the product prices is going to high and it leads to a inflation. Inflation means loss itself, risk. In order to regulate these kind of a situations in a money circulation, the RBI maintain the various supply of currency. It is going to regulate the credit lending by banks through certain measures. The measures taken to regulate credit or overall money supply in the economy and interest rates and together called the monetary policy. This will be briefly discussed here under the control of measures of RBI. So my dear students, now we are going to discuss about the another content of a lesson topic. It is a credit control measures. So what is credit control measures? I told you all the money supply will be held under the control of RBI. In that there are basically we are going to divide two types. The broadly classified two types are, one is quantitative control measures and another one is qualitative or selective control measures. Now we are going to discuss about the first one. What is the first one? I told you, quantitative credit control measures. Here what happens? The credit control measures directly affected the quantity of money available to the business and the people. How much quantity is available for to make business or purchasing? It is called as quantitative. So here again there are three methods are there. One is bank rate policy. What is a bank rate policy means? Suppose if you want to open any commercial bank, you have to take the permission from the RBI. How the RBI will give the money? You have to deposit some money. So for a future problems, that money cannot be returned by the RBI for your economical activity purpose. It is called as a money which kept under the condition for a future purpose. So if you kept money in a RBI, then how can you run the economical situations. How can you start the business? So the RBI will provide you the loan. The RBI is going to provide you the loan for to the banks in a high rate. It will provide the loan to make business activities in a high rate of interest, and they are going to create, in suppose in case of RBI require the money, it will not print it. It is going to borrow from again by the commercial bank itself. If the money you have taken as a loan from the RBI is considered as a repo rate. What is repo rate means? You have to keep in the mind, the commercial bank which borrow the money for the high interest for making of money supply, it is called as a repo rate. Reverse repo rate means what? If the money is required for to the RBI, it collects or it borrow the money in a different kind of terms, either short term or a long term, from the commercial banks respectively. It is called as a reverse repo rate. That you have to keep in the mind. Always the repo rate is higher than the lower of the reverse repo rate. Means what the RBI will provide you the money for business purpose to the commercial banks, the rate of interest is high. Suppose if it has taken the money from the commercial banks in advance for any circumstances, the repo rate is less. It is called as a reverse repo rate. And next, another one point you have to keep in the mind, it is called as open market operation. Open market operation means what? Here some property belongs to the government. In case of the commercial bank or the RBI, for the need of government, cannot get the loan. If government cannot get loan, if cannot be adjust money for the development purpose, at that situation what the governments will do, it will sell the property for central bank or for to the RBI. So what the central bank will collect the property from the governments, it is called as securities. On the base of that security records, they will provide the money for the government requirement. It is called as a reverse and vice versa. Until the government is going to pay the amount or interest or a deposit or the principal amount what it has taken by the bank. So until that property will be kept under the central bank or by the RBI. It is called as open market operation. I think you have understood very clearly it. So next one is varying reverse requirements. Legal reserves ratio means banks are obliged to obtain reserves with the central bank in two accounts. Every commercial banks have a two account. One is CRR, it means cash reverse ratio, and another one means SLR. What is the CRR means? The ratio of their deposits with the banks are required to keep with the RBI. Suppose if you are making crore together of a business, a minimum amount for to earn a crore you have to keep in the RBI. It is considered as a CRR, cash reserve ratio, means your money is reserved. Whose money it is? Bank money. The minimum cash with the banks have to keep themselves. And suppose if you kept for a 100 crore business to make with the public, then you are going to keep, suppose if it is an 20 lakh or a 30 lakh as a CRR, so the remaining amount is called as a SLR, means which the money the commercial banks can keep themselves for to make a business along with the public or with the customers. That remaining amount is called as SLR. So like this, the RBI is going to maintain the lending capacity of a banks. How much the bank should have the capacity to lending the money from RBI or to lend the money for to the public. It is going to control by the RBI itself. And the second part of credit control measures is a qualitative credit control measures. And now we come to know quantitative. So just now we are going to discuss about the qualitative credit controls. Here the qualitative credit control measures I have written. So the first one is change in lending the margins. So in case of the money is not helping for to any commercial activities, then the central government is also going to make some changes in its control of credits. Change in lending margins means what here? Suppose some margin, suppose if you require the loan from the bank only 50 lakh rupees, but if you want to increase your production, if you want to modernize your industries, there is a required for 1 crore. A 50 lakh below, the rate of interest is different. If it cross more than 1 crore, what happens? The rate of interest is going to become high. So like this, for a certain loan to get from the bank, some margin is fixed. Sometimes if the economical activity base, the country if it want to promote for more growth of economy, it want to provide more loans for to the industries itself. At that situation, what the RBI will do, it selects some margins and reduce the rate of interest and encourage for to so the flow of money in the public or in the economical activities of a country, that is called as change in lending margins. I think you have understood, my dear students. I have given you the example. And second one is ceiling on credit or credit rationing. Means I told you every rate of interest is not going to fix by commercial bank, it is going to fix by the RBI itself. The maximum amount of credit given to a particular use sector means there are many sectors in the government. Education sector, either it is an agricultural sector, industrial sector. So like this there are every department have required some amount. So every expensive of that sector, if it want to take growth, it need a more and more credit facilities. So that is also going to promote by the RBI itself. So means maximum amount than if the sector required more money, at that time it is going to prevent, means it is going to suggest for to the commercial bank to extend that money to give for to some particular sector. It is called as ceiling on credit or credit rationing. And moral cessation. What is moral cessation? Is pursuing the commercial bank to advance the credit to reduce the credit certain activities. Sometime if the RBI required the loan or it required the money, so at that situation RBI what it will do, it will send the notice for the commercial bank to control the credit and to reduce the credit for collecting from the public or collecting from the RBI through the letters. It is called as circulars to the bank. It advise how it will give. It will send one circular periodically for to the companies or for economical based companies, means commercial banks. It is called as a moral cessation. Means no one bank should not collect more and more credit advance from the public in giving of high interest for to the public. They should not keep more money as in a locker. That is also going to be in controlled by the RBI. So through the periodically it is going to intimate for to the commercial bank. It is called as moral cessation because it want to look after the quantitative also. Means if more money kept only in a bank, if the money is not supplying to the public, if it is not rotating in a public, what happens? I told you inflation will take a place. That's why moral cessation under it will control all commercial bank. So maintaining the credit in a certain cases. Next one is direct action. What is direct action means? Suppose a central bank and the commercial bank, financial institution, when they are not unable to recover the money what it has given for to the loan for different kind of an industries or a government, at that situation the central government the RBI can either it can clear the amount or maybe it can be take various measures. It is under the control of RBI itself. Means many times you are going to see the natural calamities occurs within the time we are not going to able to pay the money or interest for to the bank. At that situation what happens, to control the action which is taking commercial bank or financial institution on the public, the central government will take decision and it will clear the loans. This kind of direct actions are going to be taken by only RBI itself. So thus now we come to know how the RBI is going to restrict the credit measures, and it is going to help for to the regulating of money supply in all kind of a growth of economical activity in day to day life of the peoples. So still if you have any kind of a doubt regarding to this topic what today I have explained, you can question me in the WhatsApp. Either send me a questions by taking one photo and leaving in the group. I will tell you the detailed information regarding to the credit control measures or the regulation of money supply, how it take place in the economical activity. So my dear students, this lesson is completed. So go through the lesson, read thoroughly once or twice. After that you attend the exercise questions. Find out the answer for the exercise questions. Suppose if you are not going to get within 2 or 3 days, I will send you the notes of this lesson in a PDF. Copy it properly in a fair and keep it ready. Whenever the school reopens, you should take correction from the subject teacher. Thank you listening to the class. Be in touch with the syllabus. Be always give importance for to the reading and making of a notes yourself. That makes help you to score very good marks in the future exams. Thank you. Goodbye.